goodness, I have so much work to do. Oh, this overtime. This project is so stressful. How am I ever going to get it done? I'm just glad that if I'm going to be here working late, that I at least have a companion. My little pup, Zoe. You're here to help me out, right? Right. Okay. So, I mean, work, it's stressful, right? I mean, it is. There's just so much going on at one time. And according to a survey that was conducted by the American Psychological Association, more than a third of Americans suffer from chronic work stress. I mean, that's not just a little bit of stress. That's a lot of stress. And a great way to combat that stress is through an animal. I mean, they provide great companionship. It's just a wonder, all of the things that a pet can do for you. Like, for example, did you know that playing with a pet or just petting a pet, it can actually increase the levels of stress-reducing hormone oxytocin? And it can actually decrease the production of the stress hormone cortisol. So it just makes sense to me to combine pets and work-related stress. I mean, just putting them together just seems like it would alleviate a huge problem, stress in the workplace. So with that said, I decided that I was going to do my survey on pets in the workplace. So I'm an animal lover naturally. I mean, you guys all know that from my videos. But one thing that I wanted to find out is how this would affect others. Would they find enjoyment and satisfaction in having a pet in the workplace? Or would they find a pet in the workplace as a nuisance? I mean, is it just me that would gather, this relaxation and stress-free area with a pet? So I decided to do my research on pets in the workplace. So what I did was I created a Google document, a Google form that basically was emailed out to my two offices here at work at APO. I work in the undergraduate registrar One Stop, which we have actually two pieces to One Stop. So I decided to combine the two offices, just email everybody, and that would give me about 49 to 50 people that could possibly respond. So I emailed the survey out, and I chose 3 constructs to go off of, which was how an animal can benefit the health of the person. So I had all my questions, 5 questions on a Likert scale, 1 through 6, 1 being strongly disagree, 6 being strongly agree. And I just wanted to see how people rated these particular questions. So I did 5 questions on health. I did 5 questions on the social aspect of animals and if it brings out the social side of people. And then also productivity, if they feel that they could be more productive with their pet. I mean, I can, but can other people? And would they see pets as just a distraction? So I did 5 questions in each construct, and then I did 5 demographic questions, just to see what kind of people we are surveying. So it was really interesting to me, the results that I got back. I was able to get 40 respondents, so that was great. I mean, that's pretty successful rate right there, 40 out of 49. So I was really shocked, actually, when it came down to the health construct. Of course, scale 1 to 6, the mean was 4.62. So that's pretty good. I mean, everybody was rating it pretty positive. But the productivity was the one on the low side with a mean of 3.29. And then, strangely, the social construct was split down the middle, which I kind of feel maybe the questions could have been tailored a little bit more clearer to get a better response. So I feel like that could have been one of my limitations. But I was really shocked that with the health, people were showing that they really enjoyed the company of their pet. But when it came down to productivity, people weren't interested in having their pets in the workplace. So what I found, my key findings, was that most everybody feels relaxed around their pet. But that's pretty much the extent of it, is they're a pet. And for me, I get my relaxation and just emotional relief and stress relief from being with a pet and petting a pet.
But I'm an exception. Not everybody feels that way. And that's what this survey was able to pinpoint. So that was really interesting to me to bring this out. So let me check out my key findings here. So in the construct of the social aspects, participants were nearly down the middle. But in the area of productivity, it appears that most would be inclined to take a break if they had a pet with them in the workplace. But a lot of people wouldn't be more inclined to work overtime. And a lot of people would feel distracted around their pet. And a lot of people didn't feel like cleaning up after a pet, or somebody else's pet for that matter, which is understandable. That's the downside of having a pet. But yeah, everybody loves their pet. Okay, all right. So I get it. People see their animals as pets mostly. They're just there for the convenience at home, but they don't want to mix the two, work and their pets at home. That just stays the same. So that was really an eye-opener for me. So in the ANOVA, there were no significant findings relating those with pets who were more friendly than those with the unfriendly pets in regard to the health construct questions. So, and the friendly pets was more around the social construct. However, in regards to the productivity and the social aspect, those with the friendly pets rated those two constructs higher. So that's pretty interesting, but makes sense. Now, in regression and correlation, the higher they rated the social construct questions, the higher they rated the health construct. So those who felt that their pets would bring out the social side of them also rated that they would bring out the happiness in them. And then the higher they rated the productivity, the higher they rated their health construct. So pretty much those all, a lot of people who felt that the health side was up, they felt that the productivity side was up and the social side was up. But that's not everybody. A lot of people like to keep it all separate. So it's interesting that 85% of participants found enjoyment from their pet, yet only 55% of participants found that being around their pets creates like a strong sense of community with others. Like they like to talk about their pets. So that was shocking because I love to talk about my pets. I would talk about my pets all day, but not everybody's like that. They just will leave their, their pet and their pet experience at home, and then they come to work just to work. Oh, okay, all right. So while the results for the social construct did not show positive results, I felt that perhaps I would want to inspire further investigation on future research ideas related to more in-depth studies on these participants in the social aspect, because I would have liked to reword some of the questions. Now, the interesting part was trying to tie it all together to make a recommendation. So, okay, so people like their pets, but they like them at home. But some people do get emotional support from pets. So what can we do? We don't want to burden those with pets, bringing them in the workplace and causing just a lot of chaos or distress for others who just don't want it, or, just a distraction. So what can we possibly do? I was wondering. Well, perhaps we can have pets come near the workplace, not in the workplace. There's actually a lot of adoption centers or humane societies that have programs that will bring a few dogs to a workplace or a school and have students or employees just take some time and love on them during high stress times, like finals for students or deadlines for staff. And then that would leave the pets out of the workplace, but still bring the emotional support for those who feel they need it. Additionally, maybe if people are working overtime like me right now, there's nobody here. I mean, it's a perfect time to have a pet. Nobody's in here to be bothered by it. So maybe that could be an exception. Or possibly more overtime could be something that could be done in the home, where people could be around their pets at home if the project could sustain that. Additionally, perhaps we could provide education about seminars about emotional support animals for those that suffer greatly from stress, desperately need the support of their pet to help them cope. And there's actually a prescription that can be given to those who suffer from chronic stress and anxiety, and that would allow the person to have an emotional support animal. And an emotional support animal basically would look like this. Come here, dude. This is Dude, and he is an emotional support animal. Dude, do you like being an emotional support animal? Speak, speak, speak. Oh, yes, you do. Yes, you do. So before anybody comes in here and sees me with my pets, I will sign off and just say thanks for listening and thanks for a great course, and I enjoyed this study. Everybody have a great rest of your semester.